Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be reviewing the new MAC and Rosalia Aute Cuture collection. I am so excited about this collection because the packaging is stunning, and I'm going to show you the products that I got from the collection. So I picked up the eyeshadow palette, which is the Aute Cuture eyeshadow palette, and I am loving this packaging. It's so pretty. Inside here we get 10 creamy eyeshadows in matte and metallic finishes. There's a bunch of neutral shades in here and some warm shades as well, and they're supposed to have at least 8 hours of non-creasing wear with really great colour payoff. So anyway, this is what the palette looks like. I will swatch the palette for you. And I have created two looks with this palette today. So this is one of the looks, and I also have another look which is a little bit more pinky, like a bit more warmer than this eye look here. That is the eyeshadow palette. We get a mirror with the palette as well, which is great. It is a cardboard packaging palette, but really pretty packaging. I also picked up one of the lipsticks. So this is the outer packaging, and this is what the actual lipstick looks like here. So it says MAC here, it says Haute Couture starring Rosalia here, and also has the R initial all the way around it for Rosalia. I got the shade Aciote, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it's this really pretty pink shade, and this is in the amplified formula from MAC. There's a couple of other shades in the collection, a couple of more red shades as well if you're into reds. I just got this pinky shade because it's a shade I will wear more often, and the lipstick is £17.50. There's also some liquid lipsticks in the collection which I never picked up though, because I tend to wear lipsticks more than liquid lipsticks, so I just decided to get that. And then I picked up one of the nail polishes, which I was so excited about. I just love the packaging for these. Like, so this is the outer packaging, and this is what it looks like. Like, how stunning is this nail polish? So pretty. It reminds me of like Louis Vuitton or something like that. Like, gorgeous packaging. And this one is the shade Anise. It's this gorgeous kind of pale beigey white pink, if that makes sense, and I have it on my nails today. So this is what it looks like on. Again, there's a couple other shades in the collection which I wish I picked up because this is just stunning. I love the packaging. I'll let you know more about my thoughts on the products throughout the video, so I just wanted to show you everything first of all. Like I said, I've created two looks today, and yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll get started with the first look. Okay, so I'm going to apply some tape to the side of my eyes. I'm also going to put a little bit of powder underneath my eyes to catch any fallout, and I'll prime my lids with the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Okay, so this is what the palette looks like, all nice and fresh, and there's like this little thing on it here which tells us the names of the shades and also the finish of them. I'm going to start off with the Salvia shade, which is a creamy matte, and I'm going to just apply this onto my lid and also into my crease, and I'm using a Morphe M433 brush. Very pigmented shade, and it applies and blends lovely. Then I'm going to take this shade here, which is called Azafran, which is another creamy matte shade, and I'm going to apply this also into my crease to deepen up a little bit. I'm using a Morphe R30 brush for that. The Salvia shade that I applied is peachy. It goes peachy on my skin tone. It's not like super peachy from like the pan, as you can see, but when I applied it to my eyes, it went a little bit peachy, which is nice because it's going to go with some of the shades here that I'm going to use for this first look. I'm actually going to concentrate a little bit more of this also on the outer corner. So I've applied it into my crease, but I'm just also placing a little bit more in the outer part of my eye. Those two shades pair really nicely together. It's like kind of sunset vibe. Going over with a little bit more of salvia just here to make sure they blend nicely together. So the Azafran shade looks like the deepest shade in the palette. I don't know if this one will do anything for this look, but I apply a little bit of this to the outer corner. I mean, this looks very light actually, so I don't think that will do anything for the outer corner. Yeah, no, I'm not going to bother using that for this look. I'm going to use the first metallic shade in the palette. So far those mattes are lovely, like very creamy and very pigmented, just blend really nicely, very smooth as well, so really impressed with the mattes. So I'm going to take this shade here, which is Caramello. It's a metallic shade, and I'm going to apply this to the outer part of my lid. So far I can tell when I'm applying this with a brush, it goes on nicely, but you have to really kind of press hard with it. So what I'm going to do is just use my finger, I think, because I'll get a bit more pigment, I think, if I do that. Taking a little bit more of Azafran and just packing it onto the outer corner here, just to make it nice and deep. Now I'm going to take the shade Cafe Tinto, and I'm going to apply this onto the centre of my lid with my finger as well. You could probably use Fix Plus to wet the brush, and these would probably apply more metallic-y, but right now I'm just going to test them with my finger first. This shade is a bit more buttery than the Caramello shade, so even though they're both metallics, the Caramello one's a little bit lighter in formula. Like, it's not as, I would say, pigmented or as thick. Like, you know how when you pick up some shades you can just feel that deep butteriness to them? Well, the Cafe Tinto one is very buttery and quite thick in a way, whereas the Caramello one's a little bit smoother and lighter of a metallic, if that makes sense. Love how the Cafe Tinto one applied, it's nice and like very buttery and packs on metallic straight away. And then I'm going to take the Melaza metallic shade here, and I'm going to apply this into the inner part of my eye, so like the inner third area here, and this will be a little bit difficult because it's a really small space, so I'm just going to use this little tiny detailing brush here from Morphe. So with a brush, these metallic shades apply a little bit sparse, if that makes sense. It could be the type of brush I'm using, I'm not sure, but I do prefer to use my finger with the metallic shades. Most eyeshadow palettes anyway metallic shades perform better with your finger, but some are really good that you can actually use a brush as well, but these ones I would say you really need to use your finger. They still apply, if you know what I mean, you can see they still apply really nicely, but just to get that kind of full on metallic punch, then I would say to use your finger. Probably could use Fix Plus as well, or some sort of setting spray to make the eyeshadow a little bit wet and sticky so that it, you know, packs on a little bit better. So again, MAC usually, I think their metallic shades and glittery shades are used with Fix Plus anyway. I'm going to try my finger and pack a little bit on, hopefully I don't get it everywhere. Yes, as you can see, that just added a little bit extra punch. It's a really nice ombre going on there, really pretty. Now I'm going to go back in with the Azafran matte shade with a pencil brush to just kind of carve out my crease, just to give a little bit more definition there. Because we don't have a shade that's darker than this Azafran shade, then you know, I want to make sure the shades blend nicely, you know, where the crease is. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and I think this will do the job. I'm going to apply winged liner, and I'm going to use this one here from KVD. It's the Tattoo Eyeliner. My wings are absolutely atrocious today, but anyway, I'm going to apply mascara, which is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I'm going to take the shade Tomilo, this matte shade here, and then I'm going to run this nude liner from Rimmel in my waterline. Now I'm going to apply the lipstick from the collection, which is in Aute, and this is a really pretty peachy pink colour, and it's in the amplified formula, which is usually a bit creamier than the matte formulas. And before I apply that, I'm going to just apply a lip liner. I'm going to use a little bit of MAC Spice lip liner to outline my lips first. So that lipstick is so creamy, like it's absolutely amazing, the formula of this, but I don't know if I like the Spice lip liner with it, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Oak. I think this is Oak, yeah, from MAC. Okay, so this is how it looks on the lips. And this shade is quite a bright pink shade, but because I added like Spice and Oak lip liners, you know, on my lip line, it sort of made it a little bit kind of duller. But if you apply it kind of like on its own, it is actually quite a bright pink. It's a really pretty shade though. It's a shade that I would definitely wear with less on my eyes and just like kind of have this on my lips. I think that would be really pretty because it is a lovely shade and the formula is incredible. It's like very creamy. Okay, so this is the completed first look and I really like how this one has turned out. Those metallic shades are very buttery and the matte shades are very creamy, so there's no fallout from the matte shades, but there's a little bit of fallout from the metallic shades if you use a brush, but if you use your finger then there's no fallout, and that's how I found it best to apply the metallics, is with my finger. So yeah, this is how it's turned out and I am really happy with it. I think these shades are gorgeous and as you can see they really stand out, and the shades, like, these are not wet or anything like that, they're just dry, you know, applied to my eye. I'm now going to move on to the second look. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the shade Cafe con Leche, which is again a matte shade. With this shade I'm just applying all over my eye really. This just acts as a nice kind of transition shade. I've also got the MAC Painterly Paint Pot on as my primer. So I've noticed that these shades actually pull a little bit warmer on my eyes. It's maybe the primer that I've got on, the MAC Painterly Paint Pot. It could be that's making these turn a little bit warmer, more on the peachy side, or it could just actually be the shadow, because when I actually swatch it on my finger there, the Cafe Con Leche shade, it's more of this kind of neutral brown shade, but when I'm applying it to my eyes it's turning a little bit warmer, as you can see there, almost peachy, and I don't think it's the brush because I have cleaned it. I'm just going to take another brush just in case, taking this clean brush and just applying some more. I should really test these without the primer on because yeah, I want to see if the colour does change or not with the primer. I'm just going to take that same brush and pick up more of it, and I'm going to apply it more precisely to my outer corner and my inner corner, because there isn't another shade in the palette that's deep enough to give me like you know, a darker shade, darker shadow, you know what I mean. Like I can't get a deeper edge with any of these shades in here, apart from obviously this shade up here that I used for my first look, but I don't want that for this look, so I'm just going to precisely tap that to my outer corner. I probably should use a smaller brush. So to do the look that I really have in my head, I really need a darker shade. I don't have a shade in the palette here that would go with the look that I have in my head, so I'm just gonna, I might pull my bronzer near the end of the look. Yeah, I might pull it into my crease a bit or my outer corner. Yeah, but first of all I'm going to go into this metallic shade here, which is called Miga de Pan. So I'm going to pick this up again on my finger because I feel like that's the best way to apply these, and I'm going to apply this right into the centre of my lid. Okay, so this is what we've got so far, and as you can see I need something deeper for the outer and the inner part of my eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my contour shade. Like, you could use your bronzer for this as well, but I think I'm going to use my contour shade that I used today on my cheeks, because it's a little bit cooler. So I'm going to use this shade here. So like, I know this is technically cheating, but you're going to have a bronzer sitting in front of you anyway when you're doing your makeup, so yeah, why not use it for the eye look? And as you can see from the palette, there's like not a dark kind of browny shade in it, which I feel like the palette really misses. To get like a lot of different eye looks, I feel like you would need a brown shade in the palette. Like, I know there's that more neutral brown shade, but as you can see, it pulled a bit too kind of peachy on my eyes. So I'm just going to grab my contour shade, which is here. Again, just use your bronzer that you have that you've used on your face, and I'm just going to pack this onto my outer corner, also my inner corner, and a little bit through my crease as well. Now I'm going to take this metallic cacao shade and I'm going to just tap that right onto the centre of my lid, so just on top of that other gold shade that I applied to the lid. I'm just going to tap that right on top. Okay, so I'm going to add liner. So again, I'm going to use the KVD Tattoo Liner and the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara. Okay, so this is a completed second look and I really love how it's turned out. Like, it turned out really nice. I did use a different lipstick from the one that you get in the collection because obviously it's a bit more of a pink shade, as you can see, and it wouldn't have went with this eye look. So I just used my favourite lip combo that I've been loving lately, which is the two Illamasqua lipsticks here from two Illamasqua lipsticks, one Shara, one Vila. So I just mixed those two shades together, and I actually paired it with a different lip liner today. Normally I pair it with the MAC Oak lip liner, but today I decided to go with the stripped down lip liner, so that's why it looks a little bit darker on my lips than usual. And then I put this gloss from By Terry on top. But anyway, this is the eye look and I really like how it's turned out. It's turned out better than I expected because obviously there wasn't a dark shade in the palette, like a shade dark enough to kind of do this eye look. So I used my contour slash bronzer, you know, to deepen the look up. I mean, I know it's technically cheating a little bit because it's not a shade from the palette, but you're going to have like bronzer in front of you anyway when you're doing your makeup, so you may as well just like throw it into the eye look sort of thing. So yeah, I like how it turned out. It's really nice. Okay, so that's me completed both eye looks, and let me give you my final thoughts on the palette. First of all, I think the packaging is really pretty for it. Like, it's really nice packaging. So as you can see, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 eyeshadows inside the palette, and 2, 4, 5 of them are matte and 5 of them are metallics. So the metallic shades in the palette are lovely. Like, they really do pack on pigment when you apply them with your finger. So that's how I suggest to apply these, is with your finger, because you can apply them with a brush, but I don't feel like the pack as much punch with a brush. It could just be the brush that I was using, but usually that brush I use works amazing for a lot of metallic eyeshadows. But yeah, it just wasn't the greatest for these ones. However, using your finger was really great. It really did make the metallic shades stand out. The matte shades are lovely as well. They are very creamy and they pack on really nicely. However, I have noticed that with the few shades like these two here in the palette do pull a little bit more peach on my eyes, and as you can see, this one here is a little bit more of a neutral. It looks like more of a neutral shade in the palette, but when I applied it was a little bit more peachy. Like I said, it could just been the primer that I used on my eyes. Like, it might have pulled it a little bit more peachy. I'm not sure, but of course I will try it again without the primer. But so far they went a little bit peachy on my eyes, which yeah, I didn't love as much. I wish they were a little bit more browny. The first look that I did, I really liked how it turned out. Like, it was nice and kind of warm, kind of like a sunset eye, really pretty. And this second look here is really pretty as well. However, I didn't manage to complete the look with just the palette. I had to obviously use my bronzer. And now that I'm summing up this video, I completely forgot to highlight my inner corner. So yeah, I'm just going to do that right now and grab my little brush, and I think to highlight the inner corner for this look I'm going to use this Shredded Cocoa shade, which seems very, very creamy. It's just a little bit brighter in the inner corner there because obviously it's a matte shadow. I do feel that this palette could benefit from a couple of other shades, or a few different shades actually, like a darker chocolatey brown shade I think, and maybe a universal highlighting shade, if that makes sense. So you can kind of like highlight the brow bone and also like the inner corner, that would go with a few different looks that you would create, whether it's gold eye looks or whether it's kind of bronzy pink eye looks. Yeah, I feel like a universal highlighting shade would be better, but I don't know like what kind of shade. But yeah, there's just something missing from the palette. But overall it is a really, really pretty palette. Like the formula of it's great, like there's no doubt about that, and I like both eye looks that I got with the palette. That is my final thoughts on the eyeshadow palette. As for the lipstick I think is lovely as well. Like it's a very, very creamy lipstick. I'll just swatch again here for you. That applies lovely to the lips, very, very creamy, very hydrating, very moisturising. However, this shade I have is quite pink, as you can see, which goes lovely with the first look I did, but the second look it wouldn't have went well with. But there's other ones in the collection, of course, like there's red, a few red shades in that as well. So yeah, if you're into reds, then maybe grab one of those. This one is the Amplify formula. I think the rest of them are matte in the collection though, but this one very, very creamy, lovely. And the nail polish is stunning. Like look at this packaging, it's so pretty, and the shade is really nice. So this is the shade I have on my nails. It's a really nice kind of creamy beigey pink, if that makes sense. Like it's a very, very kind of white toned pink, and I love it. I love it so much. It's great for everyday wear. There's a couple other shades in the collection. I wish I got a few more in the collection, but yeah, really gorgeous. And yeah, it applies nicely to the nails, and it also dries down fairly quick as well. I do have 2 coats of this on my nails today, and I probably could put a third coat on, but I don't want to because I have to wait for it to dry, and I'll probably end up gashing at my nails while doing it. So yeah, I really do love the nail polish, really, really stunning. So that is it for this video. I really hope you liked this review and tutorial. If you really did like the video, please get a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I will speak to you very soon in my next video. Bye.